Never ask a toasted perfection how many times he re-records his videos. Hello everyone, welcome to another Steel Tweet Insanity video. So you guys remember this? No secrets, no hidden clues, no teaser, no countdown, just 3 differences probably. First part of this video is just going to be a bit of a recap on this. But basically a month ago-ish, late last month, Steel tweeted this, and it got a lot of us going absolutely mad. Mad as in insane, mind you, not actually mad at SteelWool. Just to make sure that's very, very clear, I love that SteelWool are posting these things. Even if it's nothing, it gives me something insane to talk about, worst case scenario, and I take it. So, there's a quick recap. The main thing here, the main takeaway here, was that even though they said no six, no hidden clues, no teaser, they then proceeded to say just 3 differences probably, which kind of implied there's a bit of a ambiguity here, so maybe there is a secret or teaser. So I got a lot of FNAF fans over-analyzing this, and there were so many interesting theories that came out of this. My theories and videos did not even scratch the surface of how many things came out of this teaser, but a lot of people talked about it. Now, my opinion, I'm just going to say my opinion because for like speed's sake, I think that this is not a screenshot for the next game. It looks too cheap. I don't think this is for the next game. I think that this is just made for this tweet. Now, that being said, I still think it's, still think it is something. So I think that, this is engagement bait. So SteelWool going, oh guys, look at our post, look at our account, we're posting cryptic things, you should be, paying attention to us. And I think they're drawing attention to their account because they are going to reveal something soon. So I think this is just a little bit of engagement bait to make sure that we're paying attention to the SteelWoolStudios account. And ultimately, otherwise I think this is just something they quickly threw together for this tweet, but they have done things like this before, like Guess the Sketch and Where's Helpy, where they've posted these little things that looked super like nothing important, nothing notable, and then somehow it actually paid off in the next game. Like, there was a lot of weird Helpy stuff in the end, like Help Wanted 2, the Helpy ended up being the avatar of the Mimic, and Guess the Sketch, so many of those sketches related to things that would show up in as mascots in Secret Mimic, or background decorations, or cutouts. Like, so much of that actually did tie in. So, just because SteelWool is engagement baiting, and just because this isn't directly from the next game, because I don't think it is, doesn't mean it is literally nothing. It is, I always consider this a scrap of information, just a tiny little thing that vaguely relates to something in the next game, just so that we pay attention to their account for when they reveal something interesting later on. Now, my interpretation of this was that this is a pool area, therefore there is probably going to be a water area in the next game. I specifically liken this to Ruins water areas, right? Like the Monty boss fight and the area right before you enter the pizza place. The Ruin had a few water areas. I think this is just them going, oh yeah, next game will probably also have a water area. And that was my only real takeaway here, but the biggest takeaway for me was that, oh, this might be a recurring thing. This is SteelWool giving us scraps of information in the lead up to something cool, really big that they're going to announce later on. That was the big takeaway. So, this has been, how long was that recap for? 3 minutes, woo, record speed since my previous recordings. So the next tweet after this, I didn't even do a video on. They said this a little bit earlier this month, saying, we were approved to reveal one thing today, it's the ingredients list for Helpy's NDA mints. So I did not make a video on this, for obvious reasons. What the fuck did you want me to talk about, mate? Like, SteelWoolStudios fun facts. Oh god, sorry, I'm choking in real life. Did you know in Help Wanted 2, Helpy's NDA mint candy has the following ingredients: sugar, oil, recycled pizza, artificial mint flavoring, and green dye. It also has 300 servings per container. Would you try one? Now, honestly, this felt like, to me, like a little bit of a joke. Like, oh, they were asking for information, and this is them going, okay, we're allowed to reveal something. Just nothing interesting. So I think this is just a little funny jab at FNAF fans, going, we know you want more information, but we can't share anything yet. We are under NDA. Not yet, but we will be approved to reveal things later. There's just one thing today. There will be things later. So again, it's just more of what I was saying just here, where I think this is just a bit of engagement bait just to get eyes on their account because they're going to do something later on. And I think that's all this is, and that's why I didn't do a video on it, because I just didn't think this is interesting and worth talking about. Now, then you have today's tweet. A future so bright you have to wear shades. The question is, can you spot 3 differences? And yeah, I'm going to quickly just point out what the differences are. in the first video, I didn't actually point out these differences. I don't even know if I remember them. Actually, well, let's see if I can remember them. One here, yeah, this one's obviously changed. I think there's one over here. Yep, there's a duck missing in this picture. And if there's another one somewhere here, yeah, this color is different between the two. There you go, there's the differences. Here's the difference. Now we're on to today's tweet for real this time. So the three differences are this color here is pink, where it's here it's yellow. This is star glasses, where it's over here it's square-ish. And this one is white, whereas it's orange here. So there's your three differences. Now let's actually look at the image and analyze this a little bit further to see what this is telling us, because of course, I think this is the same thing as the previous three differences, where I don't think this is a shot from the next game. I think it's just engagement bait in the lead up to something, but I do still think something in this will vaguely relate to something minor in the next game. So, what do I think it is? Well, I want to take a look at a few things here. First off, the Monty glasses are the immediate highlight, right? Like, all these glasses are just pretty basic, like square, circle, but then you have these star ones, and the yellow star ones are literally just Monty's glasses, slash Bonnie's, because, you know, Bonnie had those first, as you see in his neon sign. So, that immediately makes you think, oh, Monty imagery, which is fascinating to me, because previously, so many people talked about this and thought, oh, this is a lot of Chica imagery, because of Chica of the Sea, and this is a water area with chickens, and I think there was got Chica's secret party stuff going on, a lot of Chica imagery. I'm going to raise you the interesting thing I just thought of today when looking at this. This is Monty imagery, right? Like, this is Monty glasses, Monty specifically are here, but also, as I said earlier before, Monty's boss fight in Ruin was a water area, and this is teasing a water area. So, to me, this is starting to feel like there's a bit more Monty stuff going on here than I think people are looking into. But then again, this is kind of the limit for Monty imagery. Monty's role in Secret of the Myth was really, really minor, just a background prop for the welcome show. Whereas, you know, Chica had, like, the whole Chica's party world thing, and all the Chica's secret party stuff. So honestly, yeah, they're probably right on it being Chica imagery. But it's just I first saw the Monty glasses and thought, hey, wait a minute, didn't I think about Monty when I saw this? I just had to bring it up. So, about that, though, there's honestly something I want to talk about, another thing here. This is very much less detailed than this. Like, this image is just the glasses on a stand, whereas this had a bunch of props around the place. So my first impression when seeing this image was honestly, oh, there's not as much to talk about here. And yeah, there kind of isn't, because now that I'm done covering the glasses, what the hell else do I bring up? Like, the next thing I want to talk about then is, like, the floor, and it's just also stars, just like the Monty glasses. More things that made me think Monty. Also, the floor is carpeted, so if these two areas, sorry, I keep clicking off the image. If these two areas are connected, I hope they aren't too close together, because I don't want a carpeted freaking pool floor. Like, dude, sheep, no. Don't put carpets anywhere near pools, please. So the other thing I want to bring up is the background here. Now, these are not the exact same tiles as the previous image, but it does kind of have the same feel, in my opinion. The whole cyan kind of wet color palette here. This still honestly gives me the same vibe in terms of its palette. So, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, because cyan isn't that strong here, but just the feel of it feels the same, even though none of it's exactly the same. Does that make sense? I think it's not controversial to say that. I think most people are saying that the vibe of these two images are very, very similar. But in terms of this image, though, I also want to point out whatever the hell these are. I'm kind of driving myself a little bit nuts today, trying to figure out why these things were here in the environment. Like, I could make out all the props in this image. I cannot make out what these are. Are these tubes? Like, why? When I think of tubes attached to the walls, I think of sister location. These ain't the sister location tubes, this is something else. So I don't really know what to make of that. I want to point it out because I thought it was really, really weird. And honestly, that's kind of all I've got. So, in the image, anyway. Is yeah, it's literally just glasses. What else do I talk about? The glasses make me think of Monty. Maybe you could probably make some theories on the colors, but I don't know, I don't really feel like overthinking the color choices, to be honest. Maybe there's something more with the floor I'm not thinking of. This prop is textured in a way that doesn't really line up nicely. Another thing that makes me think it's not for the next FNAF game. Gives me the vibe it's just very quickly put together. So yeah, I think I just stand by everything I've said before, right? That this is just quick spot the difference thing, spot three differences, and maybe something vaguely alludes to it. Some vague Monty stuff. That's about all I've got. Maybe the next game I'll have a new variant of Monty. That'd be nice. But then you have the text. A future so bright you have to wear shades. So this is the part that interests me most. Just like last time, the thing that interested me most about this tweet wasn't the context of the image and how it could vaguely relate, but rather the fact that they were starting to do a little bit of build-up. That was the interesting part to me. And here, the interesting part to me is a future so bright you have to wear shades. Because this, to me, means that this is building up for something in the future, and as such, I think this next game is almost definitely the ruined continuation. I think this is saying that this game is not a prequel. And that's kind of ties in nicely with something they've said in the past, because if you remember Secret of the Mimics build-up, they said, to see the future, sometimes you need to understand the past. A brand new original nightmare, blah 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 blah. So they literally said here that this is to the past, that we're going to the past first, to see the future later. And now they're building up the future that's so bright. So this feels related to the this text in Secret of the Mimic, this caption of Secret of the Mimic. So this definitely feels like to me that this is some very subtle foreshadowing for the next Five Nights at Freddy's game. And yeah, I think that's what they're building up to. But that is not the only thing I want to bring up today, because I was actually going to record another video today, right before this was like revealed, about the 12-year anniversary. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do think that there is going to be a reveal in the 12-year anniversary. I made a video recently saying that, what was it? That Scott Cawthorne apologized. I think I got that here, right? Yeah, hey everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you all for the 11 years. I apologize for not having something special planned this time, but there are a lot of great things happening, not the least of which is putting finishing touches to the movie. I can't wait for you to see. So yeah, he apologized for not having anything to share for the 11-year anniversary, which made me think that he wants to share things on the anniversaries. It's just he unfortunately couldn't this year. Now, obviously, this anniversary is not going to be as big as the 10-year anniversary. Duh. 10 years we've had like a whole week of new content. So, if we're going to get something, it's going to be only like one thing, I think. It's not going to be another whole 10-year anniversary. I want to make that very obvious, because every time I say like, oh, I think there might be something the next anniversary, people are always like, I think the 10-year anniversary was a special situation. It's like, yeah, I do too. It was a special situation because it was a whole week of reveals. Like, I still think it's perfectly valid to assume that there could be, like, one reveal for this anniversary. As I said, especially when he apologized for not having a reveal for the 11th. So I think he will, I guess, in quotes, make up for the fact he had no reveal this year, and for the 11th year, and we'll try to have something to reveal this year. On the August 8th, it's only 2 weeks away, it's so close, it's crazy. But that was for the last video. What have I got to add to that? So what I was going to say today, before all of this came out, is that I realized something interesting, which is that Security Breach was announced on the 8th year anniversary with a teaser on Scott Games. Secret of the Mimic was announced with a teaser trailer on the 10-year anniversary. So so far there's only been 2 big Five Nights at Freddy's games in the modern Five Nights at Freddy's. Because Help Wanted and Help Wanted 2 were kind of like these epilogue games. They weren't really the big swings. Look, they were good games, don't get me wrong. I love me Help Wanted, like both of them are great. I especially love Help Wanted 2, but I know Help Wanted 1's more popular. Like, obviously I'm not saying they're bad games, I'm just saying there's clearly a difference in scope and build-up and hype between something like Help Wanted 2 and something like Secret of the Mimic and like these other more narrative-focused games. So these bigger, more narrative-focused games, so far, both of them have been announced on the anniversaries. So I think it makes a lot of sense for this next Five Nights at Freddy's game to be announced at anniversary as well. Because, another thing, Scott Games in his 10-year anniversary interview has said that there is another project by SteelWool coming out. He said this technically before Secret of the Mimic was announced, but he said that there was another thing after the announcement. So after Secret of the Mimic, there is one other thing they've already started working on by the time of the 10-year anniversary, which means that we know that this next Five Nights at Freddy's game has been in development since 2024. That is important, because that means it has been in development for 2 years and it still hasn't even been announced yet. And the reason why that's big is because, well, Secret of the Mimic's development timeframe was about 3 years, and it only got announced like 2 years into development, because we have information from SteamDB and commentaries from PAX that Secret of the Mimic was in development since 2022, if I recall correctly, and then it was announced in 2024, and then it came out in 2025. So just here, from the information we were given the 10-year anniversary, this upcoming game will start development in 2024, and then 2 years later, here in 2026, it would make sense for it to be announced, and then it would release next year. And the reason why that works out is because every 2 years, there have been a new release from Five Nights at Freddy's, a new mainline release. This Hellpoint was 2019, Secret Reach was 2021, Hellpoint 2 was 2023, Single Mimic was 2025, and of course, I think this next game, following that, will be 2027. So all the pieces, in my opinion, really align for it to be in this anniversary. And that was going to be a video on its own. Before this, which added even more evidence to this, by the way, because this first 3 differences tweet, June 30th, late June. This tweet, July 21st, mid-July. Which means, following this trend, the next teaser should be early August. You know what's in early August? The 12-year anniversary. So yeah, there's way too much aligning right now. I am so confident that we will get a proper first teaser announcement announcing like this next Five Nights at Freddy's game. I'm very certain. I think it'll be a big game, and I'm really excited to see how these little teasers play into it. Probably only in very, very minor ways. As I said, I'm actually not a subscriber of the theory that the next game will be a water park just because of this. I don't think Steel would reveal the whole concept of the main next game's location with this. I think this is more likely, as I said, along the lines of the Guess the Sketch and Most Helpy things, where it's just a minor teaser for a minor part of the game. So I think this is just teasing a water area, not that the entire attraction is a water park. But hey, I'd be very happy to be wrong, because Tales from the Pizzaplex Submechanophobia has Freddy's Fantasy Water Park, and I'd absolutely love Freddy's Fantasy Water Park to come to the games. I think that'd be a really, really cool idea. So I'm not going to be like mad if I'm wrong. But yeah, basically those are all the topics I wanted to cover. I want to remind people that this was a thing, catch people up on this, show the new teaser. Let me know if there is anything here you think I really overlooked, because I'm going to be honest, I did not look as deep into this as a lot of other people did. So there's bound to be plenty of things that I didn't think about. Not gonna lie, though, I think it's going to be significantly less than this. This room is very detailed, there's a lot you could do with it. This room is just way less going on, so I don't think there'd be as many interesting things coming out of this one. But, I mean, feel free to prove me wrong in the comments, let me know what you think of this. And, yeah, I am confident that we will see something solid for the anniversary, and that's why they're building it up. That's why Steel will keep trying to do engagement bait on their account to draw attention to their account, to make Five Nights at Freddy's fans look at their account. They know what they're doing when they're saying this. They know they're drawing attention to themselves. It's because they're about to announce something. And the 12-year anniversary, the 12-year anniversary is right around the corner. I'm like so confident that's what they're leading into. But I guess I probably shouldn't be getting my hopes up though. Like, there have been plenty of times I've gotten my hopes up, just been wrong, so, maybe I should temper expectations slightly. Honestly, I'll lower your expectations a little bit as well. I know I say that there will be something, and I'm certain we'll get more information. I think it will just be a little teaser. Like the return of a teaser image maybe, like just a single image. Or maybe a really small nothing trailer like Hellpoint 2's first teaser and Sigma Mix's first teaser. Those are technically teaser trailers, but they kind of showed off barely anything. So I think it'll either be like a small teaser trailer or just a single image. I don't think it'll be anything more than that. Hell, we might not even know the game from the first teaser. Hell, we might not even know if it's a water park from the first teaser. I think there will be a teaser on the 12-year anniversary, but I think it'll give us a very small crumb of information. I don't think it'll be anything huge because, you know, the huge part is the teaser, is the fact that there is something coming out. So I am going to make it clear that my expectations are not huge. It's just, I do think it is realistic to expect that this is going to culminate to a proper announcement teaser on that 12-year anniversary in 2 weeks. So yeah, let me know, again, one last time, let me know what you think of this. Anything here I didn't really cover. Let me know what you think of the idea of, like, the 12-year anniversary having something. Am I going insane? Who knows? This has been a 20-minute video when it did not need to be 20 minutes. But I tried to not waste y'all's time. I just had things to say, you know? But alright, I'm gonna end off here. I'll see you next time. I'll make sure to keep you guys in the loop if there's any more, you know, silly things to overanalyze. And especially if something actually tangible comes out, then of course I'll tell you, because at this rate, as I said before, late June, mid-July, non-zero chance, the literal next thing will be the anniversary. So I'll keep you in the loop when what happens, and I will see you next time.